About matter for the last couple of weeks, and today we're going to learn about how it changes, right? So things can change, right? If I have a piece of paper and I rip it, is that paper changed or is it the same? Thumbs up, it's changed, right? That's right. So things can change, right? And let's remember, what is matter?
It's something like a matter is a matter is something that way it can change or
matter can change. There's a definition for it. Piper?
Matter is everything you see.
Matter is everything you see.
Matter is air, water, gas, liquid, and solids.
Those are the states. Very good. Okay, so can I have everybody turn to page 132 for me? And we're going to keep our pencils down, okay? Just for right now, I'm going to keep our pencils down. 132. Alright, we're keeping our voices off for right now, right? Pencils out of our mouths. That's not appropriate. Thank you, very good.
It looks like this.
You guys should see the page that has got the family on it.
Where?
Page 132. You're almost there.
32.
We're gonna get to that, I promise. Alright, so it looks like everybody's on page 132.
Except Cornelius. In there, he's on the solid one page 5. Done. There it is.
Can we help him get to that page?
Get there. No, go back.
That right there on it. He's got his finger. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading. Alright? So it starts, get cooking. You know that heat cooks food. Cooking changes the food. The wood or coals in a grill burn to help cook the food. Burning means the changing of a substance into ash and smoke. Cooking and burning are changes that make a new kinds of matter. Should I skip ahead a little bit? I think I might have. I'm sorry, guys. I goofed up. Sorry. Can we change to page 127? I was a little bit ahead. That's my fault.
I went to 127.
I know. It's my fault.
Done. There.
Thank you. So just back a couple of pages.
I was literally on there. That's there.
Right there. All right. So Mr. Thomas made a goof.
Great job.
Yeah, this was the page that I was at.
I know.
This was the page I'm on.
Okay. So let's get
I know where it is.
quiet. Don't work ahead yet. Okay. So now that we're almost on page 127.
There.
Okay. How does matter change? So use words from the lesson to answer the questions. So we're gonna take 1 minute to page through and see if you can find some words that fit into these blanks. So she's changing the sculpture. Can you find some words that fit into the sentence? Go ahead and preview this chapter a
What
bit.
page do we end on?
The lesson goes to, you can go up, I think you'll find all of it. Just through the next couple of pages.
It's like get cooking?
Yeah, to get cooking. You might go to page 135. So just take a minute and see if you
Nope. It doesn't.
go ahead and write. If you find a word that fits in, go ahead and write it in.
I did.
We got 4 vocab terms that we're looking for specifically. Piper.
I have a pencil. Done. Start. Scopes.
You got one of the words. Piper was right. The first word in this sentence is freezes. She freezes the water.
Freeze, melt, dissolve, and burn. None of those words fit in.
He was right. Those 4 vocab terms are freezes, dissolves, melts, and burning. Those are the 4 vocab words, but the sentence,
She freezes water and she melts.
not quite. So the first word is what she does to it to make it change. It's it changes it from one state to another. The other word is how she does a physical change to it. When it's still frozen, she does a physical change to it. What?
Cars.
It's close. It's cuts. The word is cuts. Now, I don't know if that word's specifically in there, but it means the same thing. So she freezes the water and then cuts the ice. And that's how she does a physical change to the ice. As she cuts it to make the shapes come into the ice, she's changing it, right?
Looks like a human.
It does look like a human. It probably will be when she's done. So, Derek found the 4 vocab words of freeze, dissolve, melt, and burn.
I found it.
Can anyone raise their hand and tell me what one of those words means? And we're going to do one per person. So, Annalise, what does one of those words mean? Let's have an answer ready, okay? Wyatt?
Dissolves means something is like going away, or with ice. Like some food dissolves when you put it in your mouth. Acid dissolves stuff.
Uh-huh. Alright, Gigi?
Melt is like if it's chocolate, you put it in heat and that melts.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody know what freeze or burning means? Daniel?
Burning means something's burning like it's on fire.
Uh-huh, it's on fire. And can someone tell me what freeze means? Nicholas.
It means something turns into ice.
So when water turns into ice. Okay, so as we go through this chapter, as we go through this lesson, we're going to find how the book gives us definitions. You guys gave great examples, and the book is going to give us good definitions of these words. So, can I have everybody turn to page 128? And is there somebody that wants to read the first paragraph? I'm going to have Denia read it. I know, Annalise, you had your hand up. You gave me one of the definitions, so I'm going to have Denia read the first paragraph. Deep freeze. The word is freeze. I know it has an E on the end, but it's pronounced freeze.
Think about making juice pops. You put juice in a freezer. The juice freezes or turns from a liquid to a
Solid.
solid. You take the solid juice pop, put it out of the freezer. Then when they melt or change to a liquid.
Thank you. No, that's good. Thank you very much. Okay, so in that paragraph, see the box that says active reading? When you contrast, you tell ways in which things are different. Can you draw a triangle around the 2 words that are contrasting? Two words mean the opposite of each other, Derek. 2 words mean the opposite of each other. So you don't need to raise your hand. Can you go ahead and put a triangle around those 2 words? Yeah, Denia read the paragraph. They're in the paragraph that Denia read. You should have been reading along, right?
I put a box.
Well, we want a triangle. Boxes are okay, but it asks for triangle.
It's hard to read.
Those are almost contrasting, but they're not exact opposites, because remember, Gigi has liquid and solid. But remember, there's liquid, solid, and gas, so there's 3 of them. So they can't be opposite of each other. They're different, but they're not exactly opposite. That's one of them. Nicholas had freeze. Freeze and melt, the 2 words that are yellow. So we should have a triangle around freeze and melt. So when we put water into a freezer, it hardens, Nicholas, Liam, Zach. When we put ice into we put water into the freezer, it hardens into ice, right? And then when we take the ice out of the freezer and we leave it in a room, it's gonna turn back into water, right? So it's going from one to the other and the other back to the other. Those are what's meant by contrasting, the opposites of each other. So you were on the right path, Gigi, with liquid and solid. It's not quite what they were looking for, but I like that you were thinking. Very good. Okay, so I'm gonna read the next paragraph, okay? Not all things freeze or melt at the same temperature. Some liquids won't freeze in a freezer. A plastic bag won't melt if you leave it out of the freezer. So, can someone think of something else that's not gonna melt? Liam?
Sorry.
Let's have an answer ready, okay? Piper?
Shoes.
Shoes won't melt. Very good. Can we think of something, a liquid that won't freeze? Okay, think. Before you raise your hand, think. A liquid that's not going to freeze. Dominic?
Lava?
Lava. It's not going to freeze. Very good. Austin? Gigi? Milk will freeze, but it's not going to freeze at the same temperature as water. Liquid nitrogen. I don't know. I have to look that up. I'm not completely sure. No, not right now. We're gonna get through this first, and then we'll look it up. Okay. Okay. I'll take one more, and then we're gonna move on. Annalise. Toothbrush is a solid that won't melt. Right? So no, we're not laughing. She had a good guess. We did ask at first for solids that wouldn't melt, and she's right. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one, okay? So, what I want you guys to do is on page 129, as a box. Can you guys draw something that will melt? You already did? What did you draw? You drew ice. Can you guys draw something other than ice that will melt?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. It's okay, it doesn't say we all have to draw different things. You guys are thinking alike, and that's a good
I
thing.
got a good thing that will.
Yes, you did. What?
I know two things that will.
What are two things that will melt? Okay. What? What won't freeze? Beer will not freeze, yes. It might at really, really cold temperatures, generally in your freezer. Okay, class.
Yes.
We're getting carried away right now. We need to get back on the topic, okay? We already talked about what will and won't freeze. You guys have good ideas, and I know you know things. A snowman does melt. So that would be a good thing to draw. So does everybody have something drawn in there that will melt?
No melt.
Yes.
The world can't melt.
The world cannot melt.
Yeah,
Parts of the world
yes
can.
it can.
Okay, let's get back to this.
Antarctica can melt. The world can't melt.
Let's get back to this, all right? So does everybody have something drawn in their box? Thumbs up if you got something drawn.
Technology.
Dominic, you have something drawn in your box? Just a thumbs up. All right. Everybody's got something drawn. So, is there somebody that wants to read do the math? Austin, can you read do the math for me? We're all listening to Austin, right? So our voices are off, our pencils are down. Austin, go ahead.
Do the math. Circle the answers. Ice cream melts fast. When the air temperature is higher, at which temperature will ice cream melt faster?
Okay, so there's two sets. So 75 degrees or 45 degrees. Okay, so what I want you to do is raise your left hand if you think it's 75 and raise your right hand if you think it's 45. Which is ice cream going to melt faster at?
I don't know which one's left or right.
If you have trouble, look at your hands, make L's. L for left.
Oh, for loser.
Okay, so the answer, we all have a prediction, right? The answer is it's gonna freeze it's gonna melt faster at 75 degrees because it's warmer. It's gonna melt at either of them, but it's gonna melt faster at 75 because it's warmer.
Well, it's actually gonna melt faster if it's 85.
I know, but those are two different questions. So the second question is it gonna melt faster at 50 degrees or 85? So you can go ahead and just circle your answer in your book. So we should have two answers, Cornelius, let's not throw pencils. So we should have two answers. We know that the first one is 75 degrees. I want you guys to just go ahead and circle the second answer. We don't need to raise our hands on this one, Gigi. The lower the number is, the cooler it is, yes. Sydney, Daniel, are we talking about the last time?
Yeah, I was just showing them which one.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you for helping. Okay, so it should only take a second to circle these. So let's go ahead and go on to page 130. All right, class, I'm going to read this first one. Okay, I appreciate you guys helping. But let's move on to page 130, okay? Thank you for helping, Nicholas. Let him get the answers. I know that you want to help, but let's move on to page 130. All right? So I'm gonna read the first paragraph. All right? I know. When matter is cut up or broken, its size and shape change. Matter can also change when it dissolves or mixes. There's another one of those vocab words we're looking for. So. Matter also changes when it dissolves or mixes completely with a liquid. Sugar, for example, dissolves in water. It spreads out and seems to just disappear. So, on the right-hand side of your page, you see where it says, can you dissolve it in water? I want you to think about what I just read to you and circle yes or no for each of those questions. The first question is, Cornelius, on your right-hand page. See that picture? Right there. So, does lemonade powder and sugar dissolve in water?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. It's already circled.
It is already circled? Oh, you're right. It is already circled. Okay, so can you cut an apple?
Yes. Yes.
We'll get to
It's already circled.
Yeah, I see that. I goofed again. And can you break an egg?
Yes. Yes.
I know. So, that's giving us examples, right? So we're reading through those examples. Now, what I want you guys to do is on page 131, this is where I was ahead of myself a little bit. Go ahead and look at the pictures and decide whether or not they dissolve. The first two pictures, the salt and the spoon, do they dissolve? And I want you to circle yes or no. The second two pictures, the ruler and the paper, can you cut the ruler and paper? And can you break the crayon and eraser?
Yeah, you can break anything. You can break anything.
You can't break anything. But it's asking for simple. What the question is.
Well, you can break it.
All right, class. What the question is asking is, can you take that eraser in your hands and just break it real easy?
No. Not really.
No, not real easy. So
right here.
that's not the kind of eraser they show in the picture. They show a chalkboard eraser, like the whiteboard eraser. I couldn't take that and just snap it with my hands, could I?
It hurt.
It would hurt. I couldn't do it in my hands. Huh? So, can salt dissolve in water?
Yes. Yes. No. Yes.
So thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no.
No.
Salt? Salt does dissolve in water.
Like salty water.
Mm-hmm. Like when you go to the, who's been to the ocean?
I swim in. Oh, now I know.
So, okay, so the ocean, class.
Yes. Yes.
The ocean is full of salt water, but we don't see a bunch of pieces of salt floating around, do we? No, that's because the salt is dissolved in the water. So, can a spoon dissolve into water? Thumbs up or thumbs down? If someone dropped it,
If someone drops it,
okay, put that on.
if I find a bottle of water, I'll bring it.
I don't know what he said. What did you say, Mr. Thomas?
So, can a spoon dissolve in water?
No.
Answer yourself. No, a spoon can't dissolve in water. Can we cut a ruler?
No.
Cornelius, don't throw. No, but a class, you can't take a pair of those scissors and just cut a ruler in half, can we? No. What about paper? Can we cut paper? Yeah. Derek, eyes up here.
Now you can.
Can we take a crayon and just snap it with our fingers?
Yeah.
What about the whiteboard erasers? Can we do that? No, we can't. No, you're being silly. We can't. So class, what did all these questions tell us? Gigi.
These last one's red.
Let's get our feet off the book. You're not even Piper, answer yourself. Yeah, Piper. Yes, those are the exact words. Cornelius, give me your pencil. No, don't. We don't throw. Class.
Yes.
You need to be on the right page. You're not on the right page. So these questions are giving us examples of ways that matter can be changed. So let's turn the page and learn about some more ways that matter can be changed. And this is where I started us at. So does somebody want to read for me? I'm gonna give.
We already read this.
I know. I already started to read it. James, can you read it for me?
You know that heat cooks food.
Hold on, James. Denia, eyes up here. Derek, Wyatt, our voices are off. Austin.
I'm trying to help him.
You aren't supposed to touch my paper.
Eyes up here. We need to be on the correct page. Wyatt, turn the page. Derek, turn the page. All right, James, go ahead. Give me that.
You know that heat cooks food. Cooking changes the wood. I can't hear.
Read along.
Burning is the changes of substance into ashes and smoke. Cooking and burning are together that way. You can matter.
Okay, so can someone raise their hand and tell me what sentence tells us about burning? Wyatt.
Burning means the changing of a substance into ashes and smoke.
Very good. I want everybody to go ahead and underline that. Cornelius, stop punching your book. I want everybody to go ahead and underline that sentence, all right?
Well, I don't got
I know because you were throwing it, so we'll have to underline it later. Okay, so, Cornelius, please stop punching your book. So, when we cook food, think about, take and picture when your mom or dad cook eggs for you. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what an egg looks like when they first break it out of the shell? Denia? It's liquidy. What else does it look like?
Thomas just says
Annalise?
Clear.
It's clear. And anything else? Piper?
It looks just like this.
It does look just like that picture in the book.
I have it
So-
nice.
It doesn't have an orange thing. It has yellow. So I have.
Some of them are more orange, depending. So, now, I want you to think about after your mom or dad have cooked that egg, Daniel, I want you to think about when your mom or dad cook you those eggs. How does it look like? Lucas, tell me how an egg looks like after it's cooked.
It's all like. Why don't you get your hand away from it?
Hey, class, we're not being good active listeners because Lucas said something.
No, because you were keeping your
Cornelius.
hands away from them.
Cornelius, stop hitting your book.
Oh, no.
Chloe, stop drawing on your shoe. Okay, so we are all, class.
Yes.
We are all listening to what Lucas has to say. Lucas, how does the egg look?
It's darker.
It's darker. Anything else? Wyatt?
It's yellow.
Parts of it are yellow. Gigi?
Sometimes the white might be covering the yellow.
Sometimes the white might be covering the yellow. So those are chemical changes in the egg. Its properties are changing when you cook it. Its color changes. The size of it might change. It might shrink smaller, or it might expand or break down. The texture or how it feels might change. The smell might change, and the way it tastes. Do you think it would taste the same if you ate a cooked egg or if you ate a raw egg?
No.
Derek, eyes up here. No, it probably would taste a little bit different, wouldn't it? Does an omelet taste? Does everyone know what an omelet is?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I love
it. It's like an egg. It's like skinny. You put cheese in.
It's when they mix the yolk up. Do you think when they cook that omelet, do you think that it would taste different, Daniel?
No.
Do you think it would taste the same as a hard-boiled egg? No, it tastes a little bit different. Okay, so here you can borrow Cornelius' right now. So on the next page, what I want you to do is tell me what is happening to that log that's on fire. Daniel, take that pencil off your forehead. I do know how to cook.
I do.
So that's not the question right now. Can you write what's happening? Class.
Yes.
Can you write for me what's happening to that log that's on fire? No, I don't need you to tell me. Just write it for me. I hear a lot of people saying the right answer. And the answer is, it is burning. The log is burning. Okay, so now what I want you to do is tell me what is happening to that egg. Is not burning. I hear the right answer from over here. The egg is cooking. So we got burning and cooking. And those are two ways of changing it, more than just physical changes. They're chemically changing it. Okay, so we're gonna. Yes. So, can you please change the page to page 134?
Mr. Thomas, I think we have to stop now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we are gonna finish up for right now, but what did we learn? We can change. What is one example of a physical way to change it? Derek.
Burning.
That's a chemical way. What's a physical way to change it? Wyatt.
Cutting or carving.
Cutting or carving. And Derek gave us a chemical change
Wyatt.
of burning.
No.
Okay. We're gonna stop there for today. All right. Nicholas, James, Daniel. So go ahead and close your books and stay in your seats. And you're gonna be waiting. Stay where you're seated. And we're gonna wait to move back to our seats.